Hello and welcome to today's impromptu workshop. Like, literally decided to do this 2 hours ago. So I am so thankful that you are here and that you are watching. And the one thing that I have noticed in my business is when I am the most successful, it is when my energy is up here. And so many times we we basically measure that on the amount of sales that we're having. We measure that on so many other outside forces. And what if we could bring the big energy from here? Can you imagine that? I don't know why I'm blurry right here. There we go. Um, we worry about leads. We worry about all these things. And yes, these things are important and we're going to talk about these things. However, I want you to know that we get to measure more than the sales in our business when it comes to running a successful business. Okay. So, who wants big energy in their business? Drop it in the chat. Let's hear, are you ready to have big energy? Because let's think about big energy and let's think about small energy. Big energy is going to attract and pull our people, not everyone, but it's going to pull our people to us, right? Low energy is going to make our audience think there's nothing really, something's just not clicking, something's just not feeling right. I don't know what this is, but there's some kind of disconnect here. And I really this doesn't feel like a purchase I want to make, right? So we want to make sure that we're always leading with big energy, attracting those people, right? And pulling those people in, because that is who becomes our raving fans. That's who becomes our raving followers. That's who shares our content. That's who's saving our content, right? So we want to create that. But I want you to imagine, can you imagine, like, every single morning I wake up, I throw the covers off, and I'm like, I get to market my business today. Now, be honest, how many people do this already? Okay, I'm going to raise my hand because I do love to market my business, but it's not always been the case. So, do you love to market your business? Yeah? We got some yeses. Okay. You can be honest here. This is a safe, no judgment zone, because my goal is to make you love marketing your business when we're done. So, who wants to turn on the camera and say, I get to help so many people today? I get to serve people today. I get to change their lives. I get to pour into them. I get to serve them with all the knowledge up here that I have that can do something to make their life, even if it's only 0.1% better, I can make their life better. That is an amazing feeling, right, friends? Like, knowing that you could change someone's life, knowing that you could make somebody's day better, knowing that you could change somebody's perspective on something, knowing that you could make them laugh. Like, all of that, like, helps us come to the marketing process, right, with that bigger energy. So the question is, how many people actually really like marketing their business? Drop yes or no in the chat. Again, no judgment zone. So if you're like, not me, but teach me your ways, Chrissy, and if I like it, then I'll love it. But yes, we get to serve people today and make their lives better. We've got, for sure, what do we got on TikTok? No responses yet. Okay. Oh, we do. Yes, absolutely. That's such a good response. Yes, love it. It can be overwhelming. I get overwhelmed with my marketing if I allow it to happen. Okay. So it's not just you. Even people have been doing this for years. It can get very, very overwhelming at times. Okay. So, how many people like sales? I think this number is going to be a lot higher. I could be wrong, but who likes sales? I think this number is going to be higher. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I don't know why this is getting so blurry. Sales is what we get from marketing, right? And we all like sales because we utilize the sales process to measure so much of our worth, which is really sad to me. You like getting sales. That's what I mean, Brooks. So do you like getting sales? Like, do you love when people check out, right? And pay you money. That's what I mean. Not actually selling. Yes, you love receiving the sales, but not doing sales. Exactly. Okay. Love sales. We got some love sales. All right. We're on the same page here. Okay. So I want to ask you, how many sales a month would make you feel like you were on top of the world and give you like amazing energy? You don't have to tell me prices or anything, just the number of sales. You don't have to tell me the product, just drop the number. All right, we got some numbers starting to drop. And then we got 10, okay. 1,000, okay. 1,000 sales will be amazing, right? Heck yeah. All right, so we've got 10, we've got 1,000, we've got 8 to 12, we've got all kinds of numbers coming up, right? So this is amazing. So I want you to have that feeling before we get the sales. Because if we can have this feeling before we get the sales, what does that mean? People are attracted to us. It's easier to get sales when we have a really, really big energy, right? And so I want to know, like, what if I told you that having that big energy feeling has to do with your decisions that you make? Has decisions that you make in your marketing. It has to do with decisions that you make running your business. It has to do with decisions that you make when it comes to everything in life, really, let's be honest. But the big D energy in this workshop stands for decisions, right? So we're going to make some different decisions today to improve our marketing, to improve our sales, to improve our business growth. All right? Who's ready to make some new decisions? Okay, so do you believe it is possible? And if you don't, are you willing to make the decision to believe it's possible with that number that you wrote down? That number that you wrote down that you would feel like $1 million if you got that number of sales. Would you make the decision to believe it was possible? Yep. Okay, good. We got a lot of yeses. All right. If I tell you that video beats static content all day, every day, would you make the decision to create more video content? Yep. Okay. I love the yeses. I love where we're going with this. Okay. All right. If I tell you that creating a lot of content, and I mean great content, doesn't have to take you hours every single day, would you make the decision to try the method that I teach you to work smarter, not harder? As much as I hate doing videos, yes. Love the honesty. I'll go with that, right? Okay, we got a lot of yeses. Okay. So, are you willing to make the decision to believe that people will watch your videos, that leads will come, that sales will come? Are you willing to make that decision to believe that these things will happen? Yes. 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 Would love to. Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So all of this takes big energy. And if we do it with the thought, oh, I get to go market my business today. Oh, I would much rather like do something else, like binge watch a show. I really don't want to market my business today. Or if we jump out of bed, okay, maybe not jump out of bed, but if we go, I am going to get on video today, I am going to serve and support so many people, I am going to change people's lives, I'm going to change their minds, I'm going to help them make the best decision for their life, for their health, whatever it is that you sell. What do we feel like the biggest energy is, and what's going to attract the people? Now, I can say before I got on this video right now, oh, I got to go do this workshop. I could not come here and fake this if I said that. I mean, I might have put a smile on my face, but you would see or you would notice something that it just didn't feel right, right? I can't fake everything. So what I need you to do is to believe that you love marketing, right? And I'm going to show you some ways to help you do that so that we don't have to say, oh, I hate creating TikToks. Oh, I hate getting on that platform. Oh, I hate doing this, right? I first of all want you to love what you're doing. But number two, I want you to know why you're doing it so that you have that purpose and that energy to show up for the people who are watching you, who need your help, who don't even know that they need your help yet, right? So that's what I want to help you do. So I want you to imagine somebody coming up to you and saying, your program, your product, your service just changed my life. How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? If somebody, I'm going to push this back a little bit. If somebody just says that to you, you changed my life, you've made my day better. How do you feel with whatever you sell, product, program, service, whatever? So happy. Yeah, absolutely. It feels good, right? It just feels good so deep in our soul. I'll never forget. We don't always get instant gratification. We'll talk about that. I'll never forget a girl, and she may be watching because I don't remember her name right off, but she reached out to me and said, I started watching you about a year ago, and you talked me into getting on video. And I did it. And now I'm everywhere, and I never said anything to you about it. That felt good. It wasn't instant gratification, right? She didn't tell me that a year ago. She told me a year after she started doing it. But she told me why, and she told me how I helped her, right? And so that felt really good. I didn't make any money off of her, right? I had no financial gain off of her whatsoever, but that felt amazing. Makes you so happy, feels amazing. Yes, right? So we can't relate everything. Yes, I know we are not having a hobby here and we got to make sales. And I totally understand that. I just don't want your whole worth to be wrapped up in the dollar amount that comes into your business, right? Yes, we will make sales and we will make lots more sales when we have the big energy. But I need you to get to big energy before we make the sales. We can't wait until, right? Because sometimes until won't happen until we change the big energy that we're putting out into the world. All right. So you don't have to do anything in your business. Did you know that? But you get to. And I want you to make this decision right now. One of the first things that I did when I started working on myself was I stopped saying I have to, and I still say it sometimes and I try to catch myself, but I say I get to. And let me give you an example here. If I say I have to market my business, or I have to create a video today, I have to do any of this stuff today, right? Have to sounds like a chore, right? Have to feels heavy. It doesn't feel fun. It feels like it's just something on my to-do list that I get to do, that I have to do. See, I'm already changing my words. That I have to do, and nobody wants to do what they have to do, right? But if I get up every day and I say, I get to market my business, right? We change this word up. And this can be in anything. It doesn't have to be just marketing your business. I get to market my business. It sounds fun. I get to open my presents on Christmas morning. I get to go to a concert. We don't say I have to open my presents. I have to go to a concert. We don't say that kind of stuff about like exciting things, right? So it's all about getting rid of this and using more of this. And I know this is so simple and it's just a little change, but trust me, we got more to talk about. But I want you to start thinking I get to instead of I have to. It's been one of the best things that has served me and supported me. And I'm sorry, on TikTok, this is backwards. So you would never say to somebody, I have to give value to somebody today. No, you get to give value. You get to teach. You get to educate. I get to go on vacation. I have to go on vacation. I get to go on vacation. I get to believe in myself. I get to have fun in my business. I get to enjoy this process, right? So if we can just change that perspective just a little bit and start using the word get instead of have, it's going to change so much in our business, everything, and even in our life, right? It's going to help us look forward to different things. All right. So that's your first decision. Am I going to use the word get instead of have to? Okay. Drop in the chat. Are you willing to change that word and work on yourself to change that word? Because again, get to sounds fun, exciting, and I don't have to. Because honestly, let's be honest. Do you have to be a business owner? Nope. You could work a 9 to 5. Do you have to market your business? Nope. It could fail, right? You don't have to. You get to. You get to do this. We get to have fun doing this, right? The next decision you get to make is getting on video consistently. So I want to ask you something. Is there something holding you back from getting on video? Is there something that's deeper that we got to figure out? Is there a way we can improve the video content you put out? How can you be more consistent on video? And remember, you get to be more consistent. You don't have to be, right? We're going to move this all the way through this program today, okay? How can you find more ways to enjoy video content? I get to. Yes, love it, love it, love it. How can we find more ways to enjoy putting out video content? I want to ask you, are you talking about things that light you up when you get on video? Because if I'm like, all I do is talk about my business, I feel like I say the same things over and over, which is a good thing. We'll talk about that later. But I feel like that's all I talk about. That is very surface level. And yes, you will educate and teach your audience when we are talking about techniques and tips and hacks and things like that, right? When it comes to our business. However, why don't you talk about things that you love? I love blowing people's mind and telling them our audience and we are more than the thing that we sell. We are more than that. But so many times we choose that decision thing, right? We choose to just talk about our business. I talk about M&Ms a lot. This bag is empty, by the way, because I love M&Ms. Does anybody else love M&Ms? So I jokingly used to talk about M&Ms when I was on of course my dog's going to bark now because this is real life. So I used to jokingly talk about M&Ms when I was started on my journey and counted macros and all that stuff. And I was like, I can add M&Ms. It's fine. It doesn't even affect me. Right. So this was like my little cheat. Right. And then I always have M&Ms. There's always M&Ms. People buy me M&Ms candy. What happens when I talk about M&Ms? People remember me. If they see M&Ms in the store and they see enough of my content, they remember me, right? I can talk about M&Ms. I can talk about my dog all day long, right? What does this do with my audience? It gives them a common connection. If they love M&Ms, right? They understand my addiction. If they love animals, they understand my love for my dog, right? If they have kids, we can be relatable like that. So there are other things that we can talk about that actually still can have to do with our business besides just our business. So one time I did a hook that was the time I shot my husband, and I was weaving in a story about my husband because I had to give him shots in his stomach after surgery. And of course, nobody thought that's what I was talking about. But I weaved in like my husband, who I love, right, into my content. And how I learned that even though things are scary, I can actually overcome them. I can actually overcome something like giving somebody a shot in the stomach, which if anybody else is afraid of needles, you get me. But it's like I could pull that story in and be relatable to other people who are freaked out about needles, right? So one of the things that my inner circle challenged me with, we had our workshop beginning of February, is it kept giving me all these things like, okay, well, tell me how this can work in my business. Tell me how this can work in my business. And nobody stumped me, first of all. So every single thing you want to talk about, you can find a way to make a correlation in your business. Somebody said Harry Potter. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's this quote, and I like quoted Harry Potter, and it was like, that would be a perfect quote, and you can relate it to your business like this, right? We talked about animals, we talked about exercise outside. Everything can be related to your business if you think creatively, right? You get to think creatively. You don't have to, you get to. And you get to talk about more than your business to your audience. So if you're struggling to get on video because you just don't know what to talk about, or you're tired of talking about your business, talk about something you love and how that relates to your business, right? So, who is making the decision to get on more video? Be more consistent with video. All the things. Yes, I love the answers. All right. The next decision that you get to make is, are you willing to be consistent? Are you willing to be consistent when you feel like things aren't working? Are you willing to be consistent when we don't get instant gratification? This is another thing I hear about video all the time. Well, I don't get any engagement. Nobody comments on my stuff, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going viral on TikTok, so why should I do it? Honestly, when you go viral, you're probably not getting actual customers from that, because it's probably going to have it's going to be something fun, right? So I would rather you get leads from content that doesn't go viral, right? And they're actual real leads that are going to help you grow your business. But are you willing to be consistent when you feel like you're not getting results? We live in a world where we want instant gratification. We have Amazon 2-day delivery. You can get it in the same day, I think now. We have Instacart, we have DoorDash, we have Uber Eats, we have all these things, and we don't have to wait for anything, right? And so we're so used to being impatient. I love to say that what we do in one set of 90 days, we see in the following 90 days. So basically, whatever I did in first quarter, I'm going to see the results of that in quarter 2, right? If we think about it like that. So how can we be more consistent in our business? What is keeping us and stopping us from being consistent? Because remember, we don't have to be consistent. We get to be consistent. We get to be consistent. I'll never forget this quote, and I quote this all the time, and you've probably heard it before, but consistency beats talent. Consistency beats good intentions. Consistency beats luck. All the time. So if you are consistent and you suck at creating videos, right? I don't believe anybody sucks, but I'm just saying, in your mind, maybe you say you suck. If you're consistent, you're going to get attention, right? You're going to get leads from that. And I do believe with consistency, we get better. If I look back 2016, the first video I created, live video I created, it was really bad. If I look back in July of 2021, when I did 200 videos in 31 days, I was better on the 200th video than I was the first of that month, right? Every time we do something, we improve. And that, my friends, is powerful, right? So who is making the decision to be more consistent? And this can be video. This can be building relationships. This can be being consistent on your content, being consistent with engaging with your audience, being consistent on going to networking events. There's so many different things that can be, what you get to be consistent with, but are you willing to make the decision to be consistent? Yes. I love the yeses. Awesome. Okay. Who's ready for the next decision that they get to make? Okay. The next decision you get to make is, are you willing to work on you? I don't know if anybody listens to my podcast, but I have been doing a 90-day journey, a podcast, and I'm going to continue the podcast afterwards. I just don't know if I'll do it every single day. It's been a lot of work. However, I really started working on myself in 2019. Before that, I was good. I didn't need any help. I'm just kidding. I totally did. I just didn't think I did. And I have loved this quote. I think the first time I heard it said, it was Stephen Larson, but my mentors say it all the time. And we will never outgrow our business, ever. If we don't work on ourselves, we will never outgrow our business. Our business can't grow past our personal growth. That means when I wasn't willing to get on video, right? When I was afraid to get on video, when I just didn't want to get consistent on video, my business wasn't going to grow. This year, I chose abundance because I have struggled with being in a state of lack. And I don't like that feeling. How many people love feeling lack? It's not a good feeling. I got tired of it. I got tired of feeling like I didn't have enough money. I got tired of feeling like there weren't enough people out there for everyone. I got tired of feeling like I was in competition with everyone. I got tired of feeling like I was comparing myself with everyone. I got tired of it. And guess what? When you finally get fed up with something, you do something about it, right? I got to do something about it. I get to choose abundance every single day. Doesn't mean I don't get triggered. It doesn't mean things don't happen. But I have to think, okay, I'm feeling this way, but what's the truth here, right? The truth is there's plenty enough people for everybody. The truth is there's plenty to go around. The truth is I have abundance of clients right now. Those people said yes, they chose me, right? That means if they did, more will. So I want you to think about how can we choose abundance over lack in our lives? How can we work more on ourselves? Do you have money blocks? Do you struggle paying a certain amount of money for things? Do you think things are expensive? Do you talk about that all the time? I mean, that's one of the things I had to work on too. It was a major block for me. But when we can see the abundance over the lack, it helps us in our marketing because of course people are going to watch my video. I know it, right? There's no lack there. There's nobody's going to watch my video. People are going to watch my video and I'm going to serve and support somebody today. There's no comments on my post, so it didn't do well. People are always watching, right? That's abundance. People are always watching, which is true, by the way. People are always watching. They're not always commenting, but they are always watching. Always. I guarantee you somebody's watching your video and whoever needs to see it will see it in that moment. Plain and simple. When I'm fearful there isn't enough to go around, what I focus on expands, right? When I'm fearful or in the stage of lack, that's all I can see is lack. But when I choose abundance, that also expands. So I want abundance to expand. I want to be in an abundance mindset as much as humanly possible, right? Again, I'm not perfect. I will never be, and I'll never sit up here or stand here and tell you I am. But when I feel it coming on, I try to course correct myself. I get to course correct myself. I get to think in abundance and not lack. And when I am loving my marketing and when I am serving and supporting people, I can't worry about what other people are doing. And that, my friends, is abundance. So the next decision you get to make is, are you willing to work on yourself? Knowing that every single minute that you work on yourself, you are going to be improving your business. Thank you. You love listening to my podcast. This makes me want to do bad, but overwhelmed. Can you rephrase that? I'm confused. Sorry. Thank you though. All right. So the next to last decision you get to make is, are you willing to get uncomfortable? Now, all this stuff I just told you could be very uncomfortable. So you might be like, well, if I agree to any of that stuff you just said, Chrissy, that's uncomfortable. So yes, I am willing to get uncomfortable, right? I made the decision on June 18th to get uncomfortable every single day for a year. And I'm at like little less than 100 days left. And it has served me more than anything. And I used to say that video changed my life. And video actually didn't change my life. Getting uncomfortable changed my life. Video changed my business. But video was the scariest thing at the time back in 2016, 2017. And when I actually started getting consistent was also uncomfortable. But that was a big fear that I had, right? It was a huge fear. What are people going to think of me? What are people going to say about me? What if nobody watches? What if somebody says I don't know what I'm talking about? Like, what if I get hives? All these things, right? And so getting uncomfortable served and supported me and has served and supported me more than anything else. Again, how do we grow? We talked about personal development, right? How do we grow? We grow by getting uncomfortable. When we choose to stop getting uncomfortable, we stop growing. Growth is not easy. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be a little painful, like growing pains, right? It's a little painful, doesn't always feel good. But we learn, we grow, we take away. We learn, we grow, we take away, right? It's uncomfortable. I'm doing a reading challenge right now. And so it's 21 days and I did not do today's yet. So if you guys watch my stuff, then know why. But some days I don't want to do it. And some days I have to do things like read backwards. And some days I have to do things like use my left hand instead of my right. And some days I have to do things, I'm trying to think what else I had to do that's just really uncomfortable. Oh, we had to count 1, 2, 3. So I had to count 1, 2, 3 while I'm reading, like in my head, like I'm looking at this. That's definitely a good mix. But in my head, I'm counting 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, like, and I'm like, so that we can get rid of that, because we learn to read out loud at school. And so we never stop reading out loud in our head. So it's basically just to help you do that so you can read faster. But it was hard. It gave me a headache, right? It wasn't easy, but I learned from it and it's helped me become more conscious of what I'm thinking in my head while I'm supposed to be reading, right? So I want to ask, are you willing to get uncomfortable? Get vulnerable. Ask for the sale. Being consistent is uncomfortable too. Don't get me wrong, right? Are you willing to get uncomfortable and make that decision? I'm not saying you have to get uncomfortable every single day, but I'm asking you to get uncomfortable for growth. Growing in the fear and uncomfortableness. Yes. Yes, Heather. Okay. And the last decision I would like to ask you to make today is, are you willing to have fun in your business every single day? Are you willing to make that decision to have fun? Are you willing to get to have fun in your business? Are you willing to create that big energy that's going to pull people in and make them want what you've got, right? Have you ever seen like a kid, like a toddler who's running around with all this energy and you're like, I want what they have. Like, can somebody bottle that for me? Because that would make me feel amazing. But what if you had it on your own? Because you love your business so much. You love serving and supporting people so much. You've worked on yourself. You've gotten uncomfortable. By the way, uncomfortable things sometimes feel like what you would feel like after bungee jumping. You get that like, oh my God, like you just get that feeling and it feels so good, right? But are you willing to do these things? Yes, just do it. Absolutely. You get to create big energy in your business. You get to have fun in your business. You get to get uncomfortable. You get to get on video more. You get to work on yourself. You get to have more of an abundance mindset than a lack. But it all starts with you making that decision. So if you want a big D energy business, right? Then we got to make big decisions. And we get to make those decisions. We don't have to. We get to. So drop your biggest takeaway in the chat from today. What is the next step that you're going to do after this workshop? We need some accountability here, right? We get to have some accountability and not just leave this workshop and be like, okay, that was fun. Let me not go do all that stuff Chrissy just said to do, right? So drop your biggest takeaway. And then I want to tell you really quick, as you are dropping that, if you look at, and I'll drop this in the chat as well, but if you are interested in learning more about the FOMO Academy, you can go to letsgetvisible.com. That is my new 6-week program. We have the kickoff call today. We have our first coaching call next week. You don't have to do the coaching part or the accountability part, but it is a 6-week program to truly help you understand the foundations of marketing your business online so that you can attract leads, right? by taking all these principles we kind of just talked about, but more learning to create the type of content that draws your people in, that attracts and repels people, right? Learning to get leads on demand, learning how to build the business that doesn't seem like it's a ton of work. Building the business and marketing your business that's fun, having more enjoyment, right? Getting to have more enjoyment in your business. That's what I want for you. And my goal is with the foundations of marketing your business online, the FOMO Academy. So check out letsgetvisible.com for that link. All right. A biggest step is always getting uncomfortable and doing video. Love that. Love that. All right, we got some heck yes to having fun. Okay. All right, so check out letsgetvisible.com if you want to check out. There's tons of free options there too, but I wanted to promote and let you know about the FOMO Academy today. I hope you enjoyed this workshop. Make sure you share it with a friend and let them know that it's available, because it's on Facebook, it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube and LinkedIn. So it's on all these platforms that you can share with your friends. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and a great weekend.